go to the top three, look for those extrinsic benefits that make you irresistible. Irresistible to your colleagues, irresistible to clients, irresistible to friends. So it's intrinsic to extrinsic, okay? I sent you a copy of my personal purpose. Did you see that? By any chance? So at the bottom, the thing that's kind of one thing I have right now intrinsically is experience. I'm older than and been most places than and done more big things than most people. So I have experience. I've screwed up more times. I've been successful more, failed, you know, blah, blah, blah. But experience, I have, and I hope I'm communicating that to you, in my core, the energizer, like you, I am fundamentally energetic. I can be quite a pain in the neck to people, right? Too much me is bad for people. Yeah, that wouldn't be your case as an energizer, but it's certainly, I mean, I'm even too energetic for myself, right? Uncompromising is me, you know. When I think something's right, I'm not a diplomat, Sam, unfortunately. I'm not diplomatic. I need someone by my side who is diplomatic. So it's who you are, and then what am I at the end, at the extrinsic? I'm as creative as most people, and in fact, in business or sport, probably on, you know, the top part of that stuff. And I want to inspire people. So I want to work with people who feel the call to be better than they were, and to be breakthrough. And I'm provocative, right? I've been told by Nikki, who's sitting there just texting me earlier on, saying that she's anxious that I, you know, don't provoke, you know, in my normal way. So this is a very quiet version. As we get to know you better, I'm sure we can all be more provocative and vulnerable, as Simone said. But provocation is what it means, right? So at least I hope I can provoke you to think and aspire. So blah, blah, blah. So those are what you put up in your character there, who you are. Two of them can be aspirational, because you may not be that right now, okay? All right? So they can be just what you want to be at the end of this year. What are the two things about you that coming together in this super initiative and this collective, you know, when you write the letter that to yourself that I heard Simone talk about, I wrote one to myself in January, which we sent to a lot of people. And I think it's a beautiful technique. And what's that letter say? There's going to be a couple of things in that letter that are aspirational for the end of the year. You can put those in. So 2 out of the 8 can be aspirational. So that's your character. That answers the first question, the who. Who am I? Who am I? Right? Who am I? Remy, if you want me to send my letter to myself, we can send that to everyone. I'm more than happy to. So you can let me know after that if you want to do that.
I'm sure we'd all love to see your letter to yourself, Kevin. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Nikki, could you organize that, please? Nikki will send that to you. I was very excited when I saw you using that. Very excited. I'd love to see a couple of the letters too, if you don't mind, if they can share them. Then you go on across the page to beliefs, because this is who you are. What do you believe? And of course, you believe in whatever it is, you know, the things you've been brought up to believe fundamentally about being a good person and doing the right thing, blah, 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 blah. I get that. What specific beliefs do you have? I believe everything starts with purpose, which is why I wouldn't talk to you about leadership. Maybe I get invited back, I don't know. But I couldn't talk about that until we talked about purpose, because I believe that everything starts with purpose. The way Manchester City play football is they're following a purpose on a page that I work with them on. I believe in the unreasonable power of creativity. Lots of people believe in data. Lots of people believe in artificial intelligence. I believe in all that too. But the unreasonable power of creativity, I think you can measure the power of data and you can measure the power of research, but can you measure the power of an idea? No. No. It's just amazing. So I believe that nothing's impossible, as you heard, that's a Saatchi core belief. I believe that you must stand up and fight. I come from a working class background. I got kicked out of school when I was 16. I had a baby when I was 17. I didn't know anybody. I had no money, lived in, my parents both left school when they were 14, blah, 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 blah. And I didn't want that. I wanted to be the best I could be, right? So I believe nothing is impossible. Yes, and I joined big companies, PepsiCo, Gillette, Procter & Gamble, where they didn't really, I mean, I was the only non-MBA in most of those NBA. I didn't even have A-levels, right? So nothing is impossible. You got to stand up and fight. So whatever it is that you believe in, write down 6 of those beliefs. I believe, boom, 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 and then never deviate from them, right? So if you believe in family first, man, put your family first. At your age, yeah, I wouldn't say you should believe in that yet first. I think because there are going to be times when you may have to take a job that takes you away from your family. You may have to do something for their long term. It's real. It's not just generic stuff that makes you feel good and you feel all proud and angelic. Because I believe in focused commitment, discipline. It's not very angelic. It can be a pain in the butt, you know, when I'm working and blah, 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 blah. One of the things I believe is the way you do everything, the way you do anything is the way you do everything. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. And I'm going to put that into I look at my purpose on the 1st of every year, and that's going to be in next year. I learned that this year, actually just a few months ago, and I'm just practicing it. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. So if you're in, you're all in. And if you're not, then you're not. But you can't be half and half. It's not right for me anyway. So those are your beliefs. We're going to pause there for a second. You clear on what to do, or is that helpful, or you have any questions? You get to work on those, you write them, that's where you start, who you are. You test that, you share it. It's hard. It's really hard to do your beliefs in particular, because you've been playing a game and you've had to do some stuff for society. You've had to do some stuff for your family. You've had to do some stuff at work that maybe you don't believe in. So maybe this year, on this piece of paper, just put the stuff that you do believe in. Clear or not clear? Helpful, not helpful? Exciting, not exciting? Yeah, okay, bravo. Then that's who we are. Then you go into what is your spirit? What is your DNA? What is the elevator pitch in no word more than 6 words? What is your very essence? What is your motivation, defining factor? I don't want you to die, but what should be on your headstone? What's your ad line? Mine is never out of the fight. Never out of the fight. I don't care. I don't care. I will continue to drive what I believe in. No matter how many times I get knocked down, no matter how much stuff I have to take and absorb, I am never out of the fight for doing what I think is right. And I will fight and fight And I don't care how big the opposition is, how much money, I don't care. I am never out of the fight. I learned this. I did a lot of work with special forces on leadership training in the United States and the US Navy SEALs. They were the people who taught me about adapt, improvise, overcome. They explained to me, you know, when we're on a mission and there's, you know, where there's a team of 6 and 3 of us are incapacitated, there's 3 left and the enemy's 100. Yeah, the odds are on us because we're never out of the fight. And it's that's just the way I feel. Now, what is your spirit? What is your spirit? What is the essence that captures you? Maybe it's a song, maybe it's a poem, maybe it's something your mom and dad said, but it should be a slogan. It should be memorable, impactful, and true. And it should be consistent with your character and beliefs, because that's the final element in the question, who am I? This is my character, this is my beliefs, this is my spirit. Claro, clear? Yes, no? Bravissimo. Then you go on to the hardest thing on here at all is the inspirational dream. This is not an objective, it's not a goal, it is not measurable. It is a dream, man. It's about reaching for the stars, not counting them. What's your dream? Nikki had a great idea. What's your dream for this year? For this year, this program. Wow. Remy's giving you a great tool, which is the letter to yourself. Okay. So what's your dream?
Okay, I'm just sending off now.
In a verb, start with a verb. What is it? To do something, to be revered as a hothouse for world-changing creative ideas, to be the place creatives want to call home. The All Blacks, New Zealand rugby team, I did this with them, and I did it with England rugby. England's rugby a few years ago was to win the World Cup in their own country. The All Blacks' dream was to be the best rugby team that ever played the game. Which is a more inspirational dream to you? They're both pretty good. I think New Zealand's is way better. So what's your dream? It's a dream. Maybe you can't do it. Maybe you can't achieve it. Get out of your own way. Right? Can I inspire everyone I touch to be the best they can be? No, I can't. I'd love to. And I want to. And I dream of being able to do it. But do I beat myself up because sometimes it doesn't work? No, I just learn from it and get on. So that's the dream. How does that feel? Clear or not clear? And then finally is the focus. Focus starts with a verb or an adverb, right? But it starts with the action. The focus of Nike was just do it. The focus of Apple was think different. My focus is make happy choices. I suggested a focus right at the beginning of this to some of you, which was be the difference. Be the difference. Make stuff happen. So it's every day before you go into whatever your moment, is of reflection or whatever. You ask yourself at 5 o'clock, whatever time, what did I do today that was on that focus? And that focus should help you towards your dream. The two things should be connected. Nah? So if I make happy choices, I think that will help me inspire everyone I touch, because I will be inspirational, because I'm happier. There is nothing in the world I would rather be doing now. Well, I'd rather be with you in person, but I can't be. So I don't want to do anything in the world right now except talk with you. Otherwise, I'd be doing it. That's a happy choice for me. So that focus is really important to help you over this next year, right? Because we're going to have to eliminate stuff, reduce stuff. We're going to have to make changes. You can't just keep adding, right? We've got to eliminate. When you've got that personal purpose and you've done this, it normally takes 3 months because you're programmed to be good or average or proper or to be respectful or to hide a little bit. And nobody's encouraged you in the past 25 years to do this. You know, school makes you conform, university's kind of average. Hopefully you have some good times and you learn some stuff and you get a couple of decent professors and make a lot of friends and have some great experiences. And in many companies, they hire you because you're the best, and then they systematically make you average, right? So it's not an easy task to get a personal purpose that you love and care about. Nikki, could you share, do you think, you said you might, your thoughts and process and as much as you can on this? Do we have time? Yes.
Yeah, yes. So Kevin, you mean you want me to share what I put on my personal purpose?
I think you could share the process and a couple of examples that's on there would be helpful, I think.
Yeah.
Because it was hard work for you, remember?
It was. It took me probably 2 years to get to a final purpose and something that I'm happy with. And actually, while we've just been talking, I've made a couple of changes to it. So it's always a sort of active process for me. I never feel that I'm done. I actually stole my spirit from my favourite football team. So apologies to all you non-Arsenal fans out there, but my spirit is victory through harmony. And I feel really good about that because I don't want to win by beating other people. I want us all to win together. And I think that probably goes back a bit to the one word equity that I have, which is the shepherd. And just to talk a bit about Fremantle, on our group purpose, we spent a long time on our character trying to decide who we were. And in the end, we decided that our fundamental building block for Fremantle is we're a family. And then we all looked at each other and felt a bit embarrassed about it because it wasn't cool and it wasn't a cult or a tribe. But having sort of talked about it, looked at it and discussed it, we couldn't find a better word. And actually everything that's happened to Fremantle in the last 12 months has shown me very deeply that we are a family. So this can be really powerful when you get it right. And I've seen a lot of individual transformation through doing this purpose. And that's why I was very passionate at the beginning of this, that we would have this session and give everybody the chance to think about it. And as Kevin said, it's a tough process. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of thought. It's quite hard to do on your own. So if you know each other in this group, find your friends, talk about it. If you don't know anyone, come and talk to me. All of our contact details can be made available. I'm really happy to help any of you work through a personal purpose. But again, you know, taking examples that we've already heard, talk to your friends, talk to your family. They will instinctively know if you get stuck on something. But as I say, if anybody would like any help proving that I am really the shepherd, I'm very, very happy to have a sort of one-to-one with anybody who would like to talk it over.
Obviously, my advice, thank you very much, Nikki, is take advantage of that offer. It normally comes with a very high price. I think she's going to volunteer and do it for you guys. So that's really good. I'm so sorry this was so one way. I really am. I really hope the chance we have to interact. I'd like to have 2 or 3 of you just give some feedback on how you feel after that, anything that stands out as we wrap up, if you don't mind. So volunteers to, hey, just express how you feel or something that resonated or didn't, or just show us that you were here.
Hi.
Thank you, please.
Kevin, I just wanted to talk to you about what you said about the machine. And
Yeah.
you seem quite negative about the phrase machine, but I actually think the machines are you can be quite positive about them. I'm a big sports fan, and often great sporting teams or sports people have talked about being machines because machines work so effectively when used properly and everything it was working. So I just wanted to say that I don't think we should necessarily think negatively when you think about machine, because I think that's an important part of some people's makeup.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. I'm sorry I gave the impression of being negative on it. I think that's the complexity of handling emotional topics on screens. I value machines very much, you know, artificial intelligence, machine learning, I think is going to be tremendously useful to us to develop things faster and more accurately. I think obviously there's a role in machines. I am, however, biased to creativity and emotional. So it's not either or, it's and. So I'm sorry I came across as being negative. I thought it was actually, I thought it was actually funny and amusing, because I think Microsoft's a terrific company. And I think the fact that they know themselves and know their own value is something I respect and rate. So thanks for that.
Hi. I thought one thing that was interesting is when everyone was talking about their one-word equity, that whether they were saying that they were a bear or the cheerleader or whatever it was, they had this behind it is the similar trait that you're all trying to help someone at the same time as growing yourself. And that feeling of positivity it seems to be spread with everyone here. And so it's nice to be part of a group that has the same traits behind them.
Fantastic. That was great. You know, psychologically, that most humans, their biggest source of happiness is giving and helping others. You know, when you dig down to it, when you can, a random act of kindness, when you can help each other, that's a great, great source of happiness. It's a terrific counter to anxiety, worry, and depression. And yeah, if the group has that positive psyche to it, you're going to be unstoppable. A couple more, and then we'll move on.
Can I just say that I think it's really inspirational, and I think I can see how it would help me. But I'm also hugely relieved that you didn't expect us to have all the answers now, and that you're saying it does take a while, because this is my problem. And I'm just looking, when I first got it, I just thought, this is why I'm on this scheme.
Yeah, right.
I mean, even my one word thing, I have 3 which are completely different based on all sorts of things, and none of them were complimentary either. So thank you. And it just feel better that we're going to figure this out, and that's all part of it, part of the process.
Hey Tara, I admire your honesty. This is the most difficult thing that leaders probably ever have to do, because it's so complex and so non-black and white, and we all much prefer a black and white world in terms of rational thinking and, you know, logic, etc., etc. And there's a real, you know, that whole EQ, the emotional quotient, it's not super easy, and we haven't had a lot of experience, and we haven't had a lot of training in it. So it's bloody hard. Although Nikki taking 2 years, frankly, you know, we should do, you know, we should be a little faster than that, Tara, okay? Go for 3 months. And especially if she's here to help, she'll help you.
I'm getting mindful of time. I think that we're going to have to get Kevin back, aren't we? Because like there's still so much more that we're going to have to go through. And I'd actually like to ensure that as a group, we have a kind of personal purpose statement as a group, so that when we go out into the industry, as individuals, we show up in a particular way. So we'd love to kind of follow up and follow through this work. And maybe we can, you know, definitely get you to come back and kind of follow through and work through people's personal purposes again, because obviously, clearly, I really underestimated how much time this needed. Even when you said 3 months, it's like, oh God, you know, it takes a long time to really process this information, but I am getting slightly mindful of time, and that there's so much. I mean, you were absolutely amazing. It was brilliant, and had loads of food for thought. Really did have me thinking in terms of how you know, how you show up and how you navigate. So thank you so much.
Thanks very much indeed. I really enjoyed it. See you again.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll
Thanks,
see
Kevin.
definitely in the next couple of months. We'll definitely see you again. Yeah, thanks so much, Kevin. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, 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 bye,
Bye.
bye.